What nonsense did you believe for way too long before you found out it was made up? I was 7 and my sister was 5 the first time my mom told us the living room TV could record us. We were standing in the hallway, both of us trying to look innocent while she questioned us about something stupid. Spilling juice on the couch or pulling stuffing out of a throw pillow, something like that. Neither of us would fess up. Then my mom pointed at the little glass bubble beneath the TV screen, the IR sensor for the remote, and said, "Calm as anything. That's a camera. We can watch the tape later if you don't want to tell the truth now." My sister cracked in under 10 seconds, started crying, admitted she did it, promised not to do it again. I just stood there, heart pounding, looking at the little bubble. I'd never really noticed it before. It did look a little like a tiny lens. After that, I couldn't stop looking at it. Every time I watched cartoons or played my video games, I stared at that little black eye like it was watching me back. I asked my dad about it once just to confirm. He nodded and said, "That's how we know if you're behaving when we're not home." That was it. No elaborate lie. Just a calm statement from a man who never joked about electronics. That sealed it. I started acting differently in front of the TV. If I wanted to sneak an extra cookie or go into the forbidden drawer on the coffee table, I made sure to do it away from the living room. When my sister and I would play house or wrestle or get into those kid arguments, we'd always stop and glance at the TV. It became a reflex. Sometimes I'd sit on the couch staring directly at the IR receiver and whisper, "I didn't do anything bad today," just in case they were reviewing the footage. I went years believing this. The idea never felt strange because it wasn't constant. My parents didn't bring it up often, just enough to keep the threat alive. If we broke a rule and they weren't around, they'd say, "We'll check the TV later," and we'd panic and spill everything. I genuinely thought they had a little library of VHS tapes somewhere, maybe in the closet behind the coats, where they reviewed our behavior like security footage. The weird part is that I wasn't a dumb kid. I understood how remote controls worked. I knew about sensors and wires. In middle school, I even took apart a broken DVD player for fun. But none of that logic ever transferred to that piece of the TV. It had its own sacred, terrifying mythology in my head. The camera, the silent judge. When I was about 14 or 15, I started getting suspicious. Not because I figured out how things worked, but because my parents had stopped mentioning it. By then, we'd gotten a new flat screen, and I remember staring at its IR sensor for a long time, wondering if that one had the camera too. I assumed it did. I was getting ready for college when the truth finally snapped into place. I was in the garage helping my dad clean out some shelves when I found the old TV, the one I grew up with. He was about to haul it to Goodwill, and I asked if I could take it for my dorm. I made some comment about how I liked the old school shape of it, but what I really meant was, I liked that it had the camera. I figured it would be a great deterrent if I ever had a weird roommate. So I said, without thinking, "That one had the little camera, right? Can I hook that part up too?" My dad looked at me for a second, confused. "Camera?" I pointed at the little glass bubble. "Yeah, the thing that recorded us when you and Mom weren't home." He laughed, a full real laugh. I hadn't heard that in a while. "Oh, that?" he said. "That's just the sensor for the remote. No camera. We just said that to get you two to stop lying." I stood there, mouth slightly open, feeling years of anxiety and caution crumble into dust. I think I managed to laugh too, eventually. But when I went back to my room, I sat on my bed and just thought about it. All the times I avoided eating near the TV, the way I whispered apologies to it, the way I warned babysitters not to change the channel without permission, because my parents would see it later. I was 18. I'd carried that lie with me for over a decade. It's been 15 years since then, and every so often, I'll still catch myself looking directly at the IR sensor when I walk into someone's living room. Not because I think it's watching, just because some part of my brain still remembers believing it